So it's interesting that there's a saying that the 5 people that are closest to you will you will basically be a version of the 5 people that are closest to you. And for the most part, that's actually the case. There'll be seasons in your life when you and I have certain people in our lives and they will lead us as far as they can. And some people will mentor us and we will mentor others as well. And people will kind of come and go in your life. And then there's those people that I would consider are lifers. In the insulation company that I work at, we have people that have been working for us since day one, and we call them lifers. What are the characteristics of lifers? The characteristics of lifers in the insulation field are people that consistently, do excellent work, and they show up for work. They continue to take care of business, and they actually add value to the company, as well as they are people who are loyal and trustworthy. When you ask them to do something, they get it done. Now, I want you to think about your life. That was just a quick synopsis of what I would call a lifer in the insulation contracting business, or any contracting business for that matter. What would it take for somebody to be a lifer in your life? What kind of characteristics would they have to have in order to be with you in a long-term way? And I want you to think about that, because it's not necessarily people that you grew up with, and it's not necessarily people that are in your family, and it's not necessarily people that you work with. It's a group of people that throughout the difficulties of life, they've stuck with you, and they have shown that they can be trusted. So trustworthiness would be one. People that show up, people that are consistent, people that, for example, don't throw people under the bus. I was reading a little saying that I did a while back about people who throw people under the bus. You can't have a person in your life who's a lifer if they throw people under the bus, because the truth is that eventually you're going to fall out of favor. And I've said this to so many counseling clients, and they might buck against it for a minute, but then they tend to agree, because they can see in the arc of their life that there were people in their life who were continually complaining about other people, bad-mouthing other people behind their back, and then they would eventually, it came out that they were bad-mouthing them as well. It's a habit. So people that throw people under the bus, they can't be a lifer. What are the other characteristics of somebody that should be a lifer for you? I want you to think it through, because you don't owe anybody anything. You don't have to be in a relationship with anybody. And one of the tricks about being an adult, especially, you're 18, 19 and up, you don't have to have people in your life that are not healthy for you. And you may have felt powerless, let's say growing up with SIBS, but you're not a kid anymore. And you now have the ability to choose. You can choose, like I go to church, what church you go to. You can choose the people who you hang around with. You can choose the people that you want to spend time with. You might look at your life and you might say, but I'm a victim. And I'm sorry, and I truly care about the fact of the things that you've been through. And some of your judgments that you're making now are based on decisions that you had made a long time ago, and they've come back to bite you, and they're not so easy, and it's not been easy for you. However, at this point in your life, you can choose to make better decisions moving forward. And you have the power to choose who you're going to hang out with. Don't let guilt or other people's approval affect your ability to judge who is healthy for you and who isn't. Don't listen to the people around you to say, yeah, but they're a nice person. Because a lot of times people that are predatory or people that are negative or people that are bad for you, and they shouldn't be a lifer, they start hanging around or they start building relationships with people around you so that they can maintain a relationship with you. And so they become a secondary connection to a decent person, so to speak. Now, if there are people in your life that have a lot of secondary connections whom they hold dearly, who are unhealthy and unsafe, you may not have to have them, you may not want to have them in your life either. So I want you to really think about the people I have in your life. And now let's turn it on the positive side. Who are the people that were there for you when everybody else gave up on you? Who are the people that were there for you that could see the good in you? And they saw the potential in you, even while other people gave up on you, or even while you knew you were struggling. And that kind word, or that word in due season, so to speak, was something that helped keep you going. I want you to think about those people as well. They may not be a lifer, quote, so to speak. You may not have dinner with them every weekend, but they're still an asset, and they still are a kind of person that is good to have in your life. You can't be there for everyone, and everybody can't be there for you. But in the seasons of your life, when you're going through different things, it's good to know who are the right people to call. And it's good to know who are the people that you can count on. And it's really important when you think of the 5 people that you're closest to find people that are growing. Another reason to have certain people in your life is that you can glean things from them because they're on the same journey and they're growing as well. But a lifer friend is somebody who's constantly growing, that will constantly challenge just by being around them in their personal growth, in the way that they think, in terms of the way that they react to situations, and all of these things. This is really important because you can't stay the same. The human default is not to evolve, but to devolve. And so if you want to grow as a person, you're going to have to keep challenging yourself. You're going to have to keep growing. And having people that hold you back because it makes them uncomfortable by the fact that you're trying to better yourself, that's not a recipe for having a good life either. I want you to think about the kind of person that you are to those that you love. I want you to think about and to notice those people in your life that have benefited you in a very meaningful way, who could see the things that you're struggling with and who cared about you. But not ones who just coddled you and said, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, or I'm so sorry about that this happened, but people who actually challenged you to get off the couch, to get away from Netflix or away from the video games, and to go out and do something and to better yourself. They would call you up and say, let's go for a walk, let's go for a coffee, let's go for a hike, let's go to the gym together, whatever. Those are the kinds of people that you want in your life. Not the ones who will give you the, yeah, your life sucks, so does mine. Oh yeah, your spouse sucks, so does mine. Let me tell you about how sucky my spouse is. Those aren't the kind of people that you want to have. And I'm not talking about empathy. I'm talking about the people that want to just make it all about their problems and your problems. You're really not solving anything. I kind of went around a lot of topics, but the reality is be very careful about who you will have in terms of the 5 people closest to you. Are they growing you? Are you thriving? Are they challenging you? Do you have to level up just to be able to hang around with them? Those are the kinds of people, and they will change in time, but for the most part, those will be the healthiest people to have around you. And you need to be that kind of person for other people as well. You need to be the kind of person that will to listen and to understand other people and to allow people to talk, allow people to figure out their own problems. Most of the stuff that I do when I'm listening to people, whether I'm having coffee with them or whether I'm driving with them or whatever we're doing, it's really, they know how to solve their own problems. They just need to have somebody who believes in them. They just need to have somebody who hears them out and can listen to them express the, not just the heartache, but also the solution. If you're a solution friend, you need to have solution friends for other people. You need to have solution friends in your 5, but you also need to be a solution friend for those in your life that you care about as well. Anyways, I got to go find my daughter. She's out shopping right now, and we'll talk later. Bye-bye.